Being a mom is hard, just in general.
Yeah.
But being a homeschool mom is arguably way harder
Yeah.
because I know that some people will disagree with me, but not homeschoolers. Not homeschoolers at all. Because you're educating your kids, you are making sure that everything works in the house, you're making sure that there's a rhythm. Like you're doing all the normal mom tasks, and you're a teacher, and you're with them all the time. And I think something that I would love your perspective on. And it is probably one of the hardest self growth journeys possible because it's not like you can leave that. You are seeing your kids' reactions all the time. You're seeing how they adapt to you, how they respond to you. And that almost makes it harder because you are faced with yourself in a way that most parents aren't. How do you recommend that families and moms specifically deal with that and see that not as like a difficult thing to manage, but something that is like aspirational?
I think the hardest lesson I learned was don't take it personally. Be humble enough to see the mirror and know you need to change, and that's okay. Because that was part of the hardest part, was really seeing who I was and finding out I didn't like me. And that was a big eye opener. And then to literally have to rebuild myself while building children, while going through perimenopause with teenagers, right? You have these high emotions, low emotions, and you're dealing with deaths, and you're dealing with tragedies, and you're dealing with money problems and marriage problems and all these things on top of it. And I agree. Yeah, it's hard. I used to be jealous of my sisters who had 2 hours a day with their kids by the time they got home from school and went to bed. And I was like, wow, wouldn't that be easy? But doing the harder thing has made me into someone I love. And I don't say that in a vain way. I say that in I am proud of what I've accomplished. I am so proud of my children. They have taught me more than I ever taught them. As long as you remember that, it's not about me being the teacher. It's about us growing together as a family and doing better tomorrow than we did today. And if I can see it with that perspective, in the end, we're all better. I couldn't have run a business. I couldn't have had this confidence. There's all these things I wouldn't have done if they'd gone to school, to be honest. But because we were building each other all along the way, they were calling me out when I was bad mouthing myself. We have a relationship where we can call each other out on bad behavior, on things we shouldn't be doing. And some days I still want to cry. I'm like, okay, I hear you. And it's okay to go in your closet and have the cry and then get back to work and be the better person. But I just think it's been such a blessing to be amongst these 5 magnificent adults is now my greatest pleasure. There is no greater fun I have than being with them still. They feel the same with me. I'm still their call. We're still each other's best friends, even though they've moved out of, away and getting married. And we have such a tight bond. It's been worth every minute. And they are still my favorite people in the world. And I could do without every person in the world but those 5 and my husband.